why is it that anime characters just can't stop being mowed down by delivery trucks? It seems that anymore, almost any time I pick up a new show, not only is it an Isekai, or reincarnation into another world, but the main character is getting delivered to the Shadow Realm with Amazon Prime next day shipping as if Jeff Bezos himself called in the hit. And I mean, this happens a lot. Just look. Truck-Kun is absolutely not taking any prisoners, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. First of all, who exactly is Truck-Kun? Well, it's less of who and more of a what, as it's more of a concept than an actual character, or at least it was. Truck-Kun is simply the fan-given nickname for the truck that sends you to another world, born from a simple meme where it was joked that the truck must have some sort of sentience to be seeking out these people that it sends to the next life. But how did it become so popular? And why a truck? Why not just traffic in general? Well, according to Anime News Network, Truck-Kun isn't even the #1 cause of death for isekai protagonists. It actually ranks 3rd, behind general traffic accidents and unknown causes. Though that's kind of misleading, because general accident could mean anything. It could be a car, a motorcycle, a bus, a freak slip onto a banana peel into the road, who knows? Truck-Kun though, that's specific. It's visual and it's repeatable. And when something happens that often, the internet is going to name it. That's just how this works. Honestly, I'm just glad we didn't end up with Trucky McTruckface. Ugh. So now we know it's a pretty common occurrence, but why a truck? You're probably thinking there are plenty of large vehicles on the road, and surely any one of them could take someone out. And you're right, but it's a bit deeper than that. I joked about Amazon in the intro, but I really do think it's services like Amazon Prime that are to blame for this. Delivery trucks are everywhere. Like, my mom lives out in the middle of nowhere, real small rural farm town, and even she can get next day delivery from a big old Amazon Prime truck plowing down a dirt road. And that's what makes this work. No matter what the setting, a delivery truck is never going to feel out of place. You see them in cities, suburbs, the middle of nowhere on a farm, they just belong. And the fact that it's a large vehicle matters too. It makes the death immediate and believable. Cars, there's too many variables. You might dodge, you might survive. A box truck? Yeah, no. And look, I don't want to sound alarmist, but if you've ever crossed a street while daydreaming about being reborn as a cool anime protagonist, honey, Truck-Kun's already clocking your location. It's also incredibly efficient from a writing standpoint. Authors don't actually care how the protagonist dies. They just need them gone. And a truck does that job super quick, no villain required, no moral baggage, and no cleanup. Okay, well, maybe there's a little bit of cleanup, but that's the previous world's problem now. The protagonist has an isekai adventure to go on. Now, as common as I've mentioned that trucks are in today's world, the origins of Truck-Kun can be traced back as far as 1952 in Osamu Tezuka's Astro Boy. Tobio Tenma, son of Dr. Tenma, the creator of Astro Boy, unfortunately loses his life when his toy car is struck by an oncoming truck, very possibly making him the first in a long line of Truck-Kun's victims. Now, if you want to argue whether or not a robot made in his image counts as a reincarnation,
my boy, do you understand who I am? I'm your father.
We can fight about that in the comments, but personally, I'm counting it. And even if you don't believe Tenma was Truck-Kun's doing, there's almost no denying that in 1982, we got a clear view of him in action with Minky Momo. And it's probably the most malicious instance of it too, because this one was animated out of sheer spite. When the toy company that was funding the show at the time, Poppy, and I hope I'm saying that right, decided that Minky Momo just wasn't pulling in the merchandise sales that they had hoped for, even though the show itself had strong ratings, they decided that pulling the funding would be in their best interest. Infuriated by this action, however, the production company for the anime put in a call to our delivery-themed assassin, loading him for bear with toys, a direct jab at the company, and sent him right into the titular character, completely unexpected. And for the reincarnation element, she was brought back as a baby within the same episode. So in my mind, that makes it very clear that Truck-Kun was certainly involved here. And there can also be no doubting that the seeds had truly been planted for when Isekai would take off in the early 2000s, leading to the name Truck-Kun being formed. Somewhere around the 2015-2016 timeframe, a star had been born. And by that, I mean, at this point, he's literally even got his own manga. Sort of. Isekai Transporter is a parody manga by Bottle Comics that details the adventures of the driver of Truck-Kun, as well as the support staff, and they're on a mission to seek and send heroes to worlds that truly need them. It's not very long, but it is super fun to read, and it shows the details of just how they would select each candidate and then smash them with a truck. Somehow this is the most honest and laziest version of this that I could ever imagine, and I love it. Honestly, I'm surprised that this hasn't been made into an anime yet, because I would certainly be watching that every single week. I love a really good self-aware series that exists just to have fun with the most absolutely ridiculous concepts that it could ever be given. I think this would be the absolute peak of that. And now that we're at this level of meta for something like this, does that mean that the Truck-Kun meme has probably run its course? Honestly, yeah, probably. But I also don't think it's going anywhere. It's just too convenient as a joke, a trope, and a narrative eject button. And when something is that useful, anime is never going to let it go. Plus, now that shows are openly referencing the meme itself, we've hit an even further level of meta. Like, Truck-Kun doesn't even need to physically appear anymore.
Oh no.
Sometimes just the idea of him is enough to kill someone.
You're kidding!
And honestly, that is kind of poetic. So no, I don't think Truck-Kun's ruining anime, and I don't think he's hurting anyone, if you don't count those protagonists. He's barely even on screen. He's just there, waiting. And if one day a suspiciously familiar delivery truck pulls up next to me with that little Amazon smile on the side, Jeff Bezos, if you're listening, next day shipping me to another world would be great. And I'm super flexible on the destination, so hear me out here. Alright, so if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Genuinely, it means a lot. And let me know in the comments what anime trope you want me to tear into next, because apparently this is my calling now. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one, assuming Truck-Kun doesn't get to me first. Bye bye!